Okay, so hello again and welcome back to this video. In this short video, I hope it's short, we're going to learn the different types of transactions that we have, because previously in the last slides, we learned that a transaction, it's only an agreement and it has to have 5 things, right? So remember, just a quick reminder, the first thing is the asset, the currency that you are exchanging. The second thing is the quantity that you're exchanging. Third thing is the price. Four is the place where you are going to exchange the currencies, and five, the time, right? So you need to have these 5 things. You need to specify these 5 things. So what happens if everything is clear with 4 things, but you are still missing one? Time. What about time? So that's why we have different types of transactions, and I will focus on that on time first. So the first type of transaction that is uh, maybe the one that we are more used to is the one that happens exactly at the moment that we agree on the terms. So right now I say I want to buy $10. I will pay 200 pesos. Right now I pay 200 pesos. I receive $10 and that's it, right? So that transaction that happens right now is called spot. I wrote normal, but it is actually not correct. The right name is spot, okay? So spot transaction is the one that happens right now, but technically it's not right now, right now, like exactly right now. You still have 48 hours. If it happens today or in right now or maximum 48 hours is still spot transaction. And why is this? Well, it is mainly because imagine that you are trading with someone in China. Right now it's here in where I'm making the video at 5 p.m. Maybe in China it's 5 a.m. So maybe the Chinese bank is not open and it's not possible to finish the transaction. So I need some time. Or imagine that we are making this on a Saturday in China, so we have to wait, or a Sunday, so we have to wait until Monday to finish the transactions. That's why you have this 48 hours kind of flexibility. So it's spot if it happens right now, or maximum 48 hours. So this is the definition of a spot transaction. And remember, you have to clarify the other 4 things. Don't forget, you are specifying spot that it happens right now or 48 hours maximum. But you also have to clarify the other 4 things. So don't forget about this. Now let's think about transactions where you sign the deal right now, but you agree on exchanging the currencies in the future. So these types of transactions are called forwards and futures. Okay, future and forward. They are very similar, but they also have some differences. So the forward and future transactions are the ones that you sign today, but that will be exchanged in the future. So let me explain you now. This is the basics from both of them. This is the similarity between forward and future. You sign them today, but you exchange that in the future. And when in the future, it can be more than 48 hours, because less than 48 is still spot. More than 48 hours, um, it can be 1 week, it can be 1 month, it can be 1 year, it can be 100 years, it can be 1000 years. It will be really weird, but it can be okay. So it's anything more than 48 hours is forward or future. I hope that's clear. So if that's clear, I think we are we make and we make we are taking a step forward. But what are the differences between forwards and futures? Let me make a very short table in here. Okay, so future and forward. So there are 4 differences. Let me start with the first difference. A forward transaction, in a forward transaction, the quantity and the time is customized. Let me explain. In a forward, if you need $10, it's okay. It's customized. It doesn't matter if you need 11, 12, $10, $9, 1 million, 2 millions. It doesn't matter, right? So this one is customized. I'll write it in here. But for futures, it's different. Futures are not customized. Futures are standardized, okay? In terms of quantity and time. and maturity, and when are we going to exchange the currencies. So futures are standardized. Futures have a size, right? They have a size. If you want to buy, I think the size of the future of dollars is $10,000. Okay, so if you need $10,000, that's perfect. You can you can buy one future of dollars. But if you need $10, the minimum you can get is 10,000. So it's up to you. So that's why futures are different to forwards in that sense. Futures are standardized and forwards are customized. Also, I gave you examples about quantity, but also in terms of time. So if I need the dollars tomorrow, it's okay. Or sorry, tomorrow in 3 days, let's say in 3 days, it's okay with a forward. If I need the dollars in 1 month, it's okay. It doesn't matter because they are going to customize it according to my needs. But in the future, it's not like that. In futures, maturity dates are also standardized. And these dates, the day when you exchange the currencies, it's always on the 17th of each month or the next working day if there is a weekend in there. So futures are standardized in terms of time and quantity. An example, kind of an analogy of this is like if you want to buy a suit and you want to buy it in a store like Zara or Hugo Boss or something like that, that will be like a future because you go to the store and they have certain sizes and but they can make a suit for you. You need to use the ones that they have. So it's similar to going to buy a suit in a store. But in the case of forwards, it's different. In a forward, it's like buying the suit with a tailor. With a tailor, you go and the tailor is going to, I don't know, uh, measure your arms and your waist and things like that. And he's going to give you the perfect fit for you. So this is like a tailor and this is like buying the suit from a store. Let's move to the next difference. The next difference in terms of forwards and futures is where can you buy it? Futures are sold in a specific market. There is only one place. There is only one place where you can buy it. And in the case of Mexico, it's called the MEXDER. In the case of the US, it's called the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So you need to buy it in a specific market, the market for futures. And in the case of the forward, you buy the forward anywhere outside of the market, actually. You can't buy the forward in here. You can only buy futures. And where can I buy a forward? Anywhere else. You can buy it in a bank. You can buy it in my house. If we make a forward deal, we can sign it in my house. You can sign it in the, I don't know, anywhere, really anywhere in the street, in the mall, with a lawyer, anywhere where you want to sign it. So, and we call that over the counter. Over the counter means outside of the market. So anywhere which is not the the market for futures. And you can only buy futures here in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or MEXDER, or each country has its own market of futures. Then difference number three. Difference number three is what do I have to do when I buy my future? For futures, you have to pay a deposit, okay? When you buy the future or you sell the future, you need to pay that deposit. You need to give a deposit in advance. So if you, let's think about an example. Maybe you're buying $10,000 at the price of 20 pesos. So that means 200,000 pesos. So the market, the MEXDER is going to ask you for maybe 10% of that. That is called the margin. That is the deposit. Okay, so you need to pay something at the beginning, a deposit. And in the forward, you don't give anything. You only sign. It's a deal. It's a contract. It doesn't mean that you can escape, or if you escape, you go to jail. It's illegal, but you don't give a deposit. You only sign, and whenever you are going to exchange the currency, you exchange the currency, and that's it. But in here, you need to pay a deposit. And that's the follow-up to the fourth difference. The fourth difference is the level of risk between a future and a forward. In the future, because you paid the deposit, we can say that there is no risk, literally no risk. And why is this? We are going to make exercises about this with futures and forwards. It will be very clear later on, but I am saying that there is no risk in the future because you pay your deposit and that deposit will cover for any losses. So it, it can be quite confusing right now. I think in the next partial it will be very, very clear because we are going to make exercises. But imagine that you are buying dollars at 20 pesos. What happens if in the market the price of the dollar drops at 10 pesos? You are making a huge loss, right? Because you are signing in the future that you are going to pay 20 pesos for each dollar. And if the market drops to 10 pesos, that's really bad for you. You are paying a lot more. So if that happens, the market that the MexDer is going to use this deposit to cover for that. So in case that you say, forget my forget my future, I'm not going to use it. I'm not, I, I did a mistake. I'm not going to continue. They will take the deposit and they will say, okay, goodbye. But with the deposit, we cover the losses. So that's why we say that there is no risk at all, nothing. If something bad happens and you are about to lose your deposit, they will call and they will say, well, not call, maybe in the internet, they will send a message or to your broker or anything more technological than a call, but but in the book says that it's a call. So they will call and they will say, if you want to keep your position, if you still want to buy dollars at 20 pesos, you need to pay more deposit because your deposit is rolling low. That thing is called a margin call because you need to pay your margin again. We are going to make exercise and I think it will be clear. But the point is that in here, in forwards, there is a low level of risk. It's not that technically both are really, I would say, really safe. But if we compare forward and future, future is safer, but just a little bit safer than this one. This is extremely safe, like 100%, and the forwards are maybe 98% safe because since you are not paying a deposit, if you don't want to pay, it's illegal, but you can still do it. You can escape, you can flee from the country, but it's illegal. So these are the four differences. Remember that forwards are customized, futures are standardized. Forwards are bought and sold anywhere in the world. Futures only in a specific market. Forwards, you don't have to pay a deposit. Futures, you have to pay a deposit. Forwards have minimum level of risk. Futures, no level of risk. So I hope this is clear. I will finish the video in here. And I think there is just one final video after this.